Moving on to number 16, we have 16! 16! Guts! It's 16! What? No. Oh no. Hello, my weebs and gamers. What we are going to be doing today, I fucking love it when gaming journalism organization tries to write about anime. And I've gone through a few of their lists in previous streams before. We've done IGN, we have done Kotaku, we've done Game Rants. What are we doing today? We are going back to IGN, baby, because I found that they made a list for the top 25 greatest anime characters of all time. Out of all of them, IGN undoubtedly had the worst list. It's IGN, so there are probably going to be some shonen characters in here, but you know what? Depending on who it is, I might let it pass, because if we're talking about the greatest anime characters of all time, there are some iconic anime characters that might not be as compelling as other characters in their medium, but they still have that lineage behind them. Starting at number 25, Astro Boy. Okay, I'll actually be honest, I haven't actually seen Astro Boy, but when I talk about iconic anime characters, I did say earlier that I feel like their lineage has to play an important part. And you know, if we're gonna talk about lineage, what has a bigger lineage than the first anime that was basically ever made? It might be nostalgia, but I feel like Astro Boy has played a big role in the history of the medium that we're watching now. So, okay. Number 25, I will actually allow that. I don't actually know if he is a good character because I haven't actually watched Astro Boy, but as the last character on this list, I'll allow the character that allowed anime to get made. Number 24, Vash the Stampede. Okay. Oh, we are off to a good start. I actually think that's a fair rating. Only number 24th? Okay. Here's the thing. Vash is a fucking brilliant character. I wouldn't say that Trigun holds up to some of the very, very, very best anime that's ever been made, especially if we're talking about the OG Trigun, but it's still pretty damn good. Trying to like take nostalgia out of it, because I did actually rewatch a lot of the old Trigun since I watched the new Trigun remake by Studio Orange, and the new Trigun remake is fucking insane. I love the new Trigun remake. Studio Orange have done an amazing job, and not enough people are watching it. If you haven't watched the Trigun remake, please go watch the Trigun remake. But I will say, I don't think this is a fault of Studio Orange. I do think that the character writing in the original Trigun was a little, not a little better, but I feel like the characters felt a little more fleshed out. And part of the big reason for that, we've only had 12 episodes or 13 episodes of the Trigun remake, and the original Trigun had like 26 episodes. So it's not really a fair comparison. I do generally think that Vash is a very, very interesting character. Like, I think the concept of Vash as a character is super, super interesting. Taking a pacifist and trying to limit test how far you can be a pacifist in a kind of like post-apocalyptic world. I think that's a really, really interesting concept. The good thing about the remake so far is that the animation has been stellar, the world building has been stellar. I think the world is way more interesting in the remake than it was in the original. But I think so far the characters have been more interesting in the original. But Vash the Stampede is number 24. I'll allow it. Moving on to number 23, Lelouch Lamperouge. Okay, that's pretty low. That's pretty low, right? Okay, at least he's on there. Astro Boy, you get a lowercase W for that. Vash the Stampede, I will also give you a lowercase W for that. Lelouch Lamperouge is also just a lowercase W. In terms of iconic anime characters that have come out in like the past 20 years, in terms of compelling anime characters, I mean, fucking there's a reason why Code Geass took over the anime community back in the late 2000s. I still think he is a really, really fucking interesting character. Was Code Geass R2 very fucking messy in terms of its character writing? Yes, it was. I think that Lelouch should at least be in the top 15. I think that Code Geass has the best ending in all of anime. No other anime has made me feel the emotions that I have felt at the ending of Code Geass. Lelouch's journey at the end of Code Geass is something that is going to stick with me probably till the end of my life. And that's why I think that Lelouch should be way fucking higher. Moving on to number 22, we have Light Yagami. Okay, interesting. Putting Light and Lelouch right next to each other. I can see it again. I think this is way too low. I think this is way too fucking low. Am I about to reignite a more than decade-old fucking internet argument? Should the Light be above Lelouch? This is my personal feelings, but I kind of think Lelouch should be above Light. Let me cook for a second, guys. Let me cook. Before I set fire to the chat, I think part of the reason Death Note was so compelling, I mean, Light is a very good character. I think he deserves to be on this list, and I do think he deserves to be higher. One thing that was compelling about Death Note wasn't just Light. It was Light and L as a pair. Like with Vash and Wolfwood, the story of Death Note wouldn't work without Light and L. And yes, Lelouch did have Suzaku in Code Geass to bounce off what Lelouch was doing, but I feel like Lelouch is way more important to the story of Code Geass as a solo character than Light is to Death Note. I just think, for me personally, Lelouch kind of just edges out Light in terms of my personal preference, but it's not that much of a difference. I do think that they are very, very close in terms of where they should be in the list. I just think they should both be way higher. Both of them should be top 15 in this list at the very least. I will give both Lelouch and Light a small W. They should be way higher. Moving on to number 21, we have Dio Brando from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. You know what? W. There is so many great characters in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, right? There's so many great characters. But if we're gonna talk about who is the face of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, it's pretty much gonna boil down to Jotaro or Dio. And as much as I like Jotaro, I gotta choose Dio. In terms of like JoJo characters, I have characters that I think are more compelling. For example, I don't even think that Dio is the best villain in JoJo. That goes to Kira. But if we're talking about the face of a franchise, if we're talking about the lineage of a character, Dio is the villain of JoJo. Basically, in almost every part, you can feel his presence. You can feel Dio's presence, no matter which part you're on. But there has not been another JoJo villain that has embodied the final boss energy as much as Dio did in part 3. Dio was that final boss that you grinded to in your RPG, man. He not only embodied final boss energy, but he absolutely delivered in being the final boss of that arc. I think he should be a bit higher. Moving on to number 20. Getting into the top 20 now, guys. We have Gon Freaks. Okay. Guys, I'm not gonna lie. I'm getting a bit worried. A lot of the characters and a lot of the series that I would have put way higher are starting to show up pretty low on the list. Hunter x Hunter isn't as iconic as some other shonen, but it is personally top 2 shonen for me. Hunter x Hunter, I think, has some of the best character writing in all of the shonen genre in general. Do I think Gon is the most compelling character in Hunter x Hunter? No, I don't think Gon is the most compelling character in Hunter x Hunter, but I do still think he's a really good character. Oh my god, there are so many amazing and compelling characters in Hunter x Hunter that I guess he wins by default about who should be representing Hunter x Hunter in the greatest anime characters list of all time. But Ging? yeah, let's put Ging on here. If I had to pick one character that I think is the greatest character in Hunter x Hunter, it would probably be Meruem. He's one of the best villains in not just shonen, in all of anime. All right, moving on. Number 19, Motoko Kusanagi from Ghost in the Shell. Yeah, okay, here's the thing. I don't think it's nostalgia bait. Ghost in the Shell obviously has the lineage in it. I don't remember much about her character though. Like, I fucking love Ghost in the Shell, especially Ghost in the Shell standalone complex, but it was less to do with the characters and it was more to do with the ideas that the series explored than the characters. To me, Makoto Kusanagi is an iconic anime character. She will always be an iconic anime character in the history of anime, but to me, she was more of a vessel to tell the stories and the ideas that Ghost in the Shell wanted to tell. Was she a badass fucking character? Yes. Was she a badass female character? Fucking yes. She was badass, but in terms of compelling characters, I don't think she's as compelling as some other characters that could be on this list. But I think Makoto Kusanagi might be in the right place. It depends on who else is on this list. I'll give this one a small W. I think she should be lower because I can think of way more interesting characters than her. Moving on to number 18, we have Levi. At 18? We got an Attack on Titan character at... No. Okay, this is way too low, and it is the wrong pick as well. I knew an Attack on Titan character would be on this list, okay? Of course an Attack on Titan character would be on this list, but how are you not gonna put Eren Yeager on this list? What? In terms of greatest anime characters, Eren's journey is fucking insane. I say that in a cast of fucking insane anime characters. You have Levi, you have Erwin. You have all of these characters who have depth to them, who have more than one layer to them, and Levi is definitely one of them. But come on, man. We are going to be talking about what Eren chose to do for fucking years. I think that, like how we still talk about Lelouch's journey and Lelouch's sacrifice at the end of Code Geass, I also think that we're still going to be talking about the decisions that Eren has made. And that's why I think he is easily one of the most iconic anime characters of all time and one of the most compelling anime characters of all time. So I think that Attack on Titan should be way higher. And I don't think it should be Levi. I think it should be Eren. Moving on to number 17. We have Kakashi? Kakashi was their pick for Naruto? Over Levi? Over Gon? Over Dio? Over Light? Over Lelouch? Okay. You know what? I mean, I like Kakashi. Kakashi's nice. Kakashi's cool. Would I pick Kakashi versus over some of the other characters in Naruto? Probably not. He has nostalgia, right? He has the fangirls. He's sexy behind that mask. I'm surprised they picked Kakashi over any of the main characters, man. We're not gonna pick the iconic characters. We're gonna pick the fan favorite. We're gonna go with Kakashi. I don't think Kakashi should be on this list. This is an L for me, man. Kakashi is great. I have a lot of nostalgia for Kakashi and for Naruto, but I don't think that he deserves to be on a list for the greatest anime characters of all time. Maybe if it was another Naruto character. This is a competitive list. We do not have space for okay. Moving on to number 16. We have 16! 16! Guts is 16! What? No. Oh no. He's not even top 10! Not even top 10? In what world is Guts or Griffith not in the top 10 best anime characters of all time? This is top 5 at the very least, man. Absolutely no way. I don't even care that he's on this list. I don't care. This is a capital L, man. This is a fucking capital L because you know what? Even a toddler would know that Guts deserves to be on this list. And even a toddler would know that he would be one of the greatest anime and manga characters of all time. I need to cool down. I need to cool down. Let's talk about Berserk. One of the greatest stories that has been told in this medium. Arguably one of the most iconic and critically acclaimed characters that we can think of. Oh my god, there's 15 more people above Guts. I'm just gonna have to like process that for a second. There is a world where you can maybe argue that there are some more iconic and better characters than Guts. This list is not long, guys. I'm trying to think of a list where you can make that argument, and there might be a few, but the list is that long, guys. I'm not even going to entertain this. This is an L. This is a capital L. I don't care that Guts is on this list. We're moving on because I don't want to cry. Moving on to number 15, we have Kirito, the real black swordsman. Can you imagine? I would not put it past them to do it. Number 15, we have Lupin the Third. Okay, Lupin, I'll allow this one. Lupin the Third is also another iconic anime character in the entire history of anime and manga. He's just a great character. He has the lineage behind him, and also genuinely, he's just a joy to watch. He's had so many iterations. I don't even think you can like analyze him as a singular character because he's kind of like Sherlock Holmes in that kind of sense where he's had so many different iterations, so many different series, and so many takes on his character that it's kind of impossible to analyze him as a singular character. But he definitely deserves to be on this list. And actually, I think it's about right to put him at number 15. I lost my head seeing Guts at number 16, but you know what? Arsene Lupin III, you actually get a capital W from me. IGN, I think that he is actually in the perfect place. Moving on to number 14, we have Wait, we're doing 2 characters per series? No, IGN, no, don't do this. Oh, the list is dead, guys. The list is dead. That means there's a chance that the top 5 could be all Dragon Ball characters. Remember when I said that I agreed with IGN for picking Dio over Jotaro? Well, that sentence aged like milk, didn't it? We do deserve a JoJo's Bizarre. Fuck, I was praising IGN, and now I'm gonna have to go back on my words. I've already said what I needed to say. I do think it should be either Jotaro or Dio getting a place on this list, but IGN, pick one, IGN. Stop being greedy. You made the W choice and then you fumbled it. What if people don't think that I'm a real JoJo fan? Okay, IGN, okay, we get it, IGN, you suck cock. Okay, I understand. Moving on to number 13, we have Zoro from One Piece. Yeah, I already know that there's gonna be more than one Piece character on this list. I just wish IGN, you know what? I'm a Zoro fan, but if Luffy is on this list, which I guarantee Luffy is gonna be on this fucking list, this is an L. If we have repeats, that's an automatic L from me, IGN. Zoro, he's my personal favorite of the Straw Hat crew. He's not my favorite character, but Zoro's my guy. Having said that, if I had to put someone on the list, it wouldn't be Zoro. Moving on to number 12, we have No! I can't. I can't. Not again. Why is Tanjiro above Guts? Demon Slayer is going to be iconic. I don't know. It is one of the most popular anime of the modern day. There is an argument that could be made that Demon Slayer is going to be an iconic anime. I'm trying to be unbiased, okay? I'm trying my best. When a decade passes, we're going to have plenty of kids that are gonna grow up and they're gonna look at Demon Slayer the same way that we look at Naruto or Dragon Ball. Can we say that? But that was the biggest but I've said in my life. To me, a lot of Demon Slayer comes down in the hype of its anime. I do not even think that despite how much I have clowned on My Hero Academia in the past, I do not think that Demon Slayer has more compelling characters than the characters in My Hero Academia. I can't believe I just said that. But in terms of the top anime characters of all time, no, that's an L. That's a capital L. Moving on to number 11, we have L from Death. No. Okay, you get an L for being a repeat. What can be more poetic than L getting an L? Having said that, L above Light. Okay, so let's shift the conversation. There being 2 Death Note characters on this list. Does L deserve to be above Light in this list? And I'm gonna say no. If I had to pick between L and Light, which it's very, very, very hard to pick, just because I think both of them exist in a duo, as I've already said. Number 1, L took the L, but number 2, I do think Light is slightly more interesting than L is. L, to me, is a little bit too quirky. You know, he's like, oh, look at me. I'm like, oh, give me some coffee. Give me some coffee. Let me have the sugar. To me, Light actually feels like he could be an interesting character in like any live action show. If Light existed in real life, it would completely fuck up the world, but it's an interesting idea. L is XQC IRL. Oh my God. You're right! No, why are you gonna say that? Oh shit, you're so right. Alright guys, top 10. Are we ready for the top 10? We already know that Guts isn't in the top 10. Alright, moving on to number 10. We have Kenshin Himura. W. It's unfortunate what has happened to the legacy of Rurouni Kenshin, but Kenshin's a fucking great character. And I'd forgotten, because I'd kind of just like shuffled it away in my mind, how good of a character he was and how good of a shonen Rurouni Kenshin is. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna give this one a W. He's similar in Vash in that sense. I think he's even more compelling than Vash is. Kenshin is a fucking amazing story, and Himura Kenshin is an amazing character. All right, moving on to number 9. We have Shinji Hikari. Okay, guys, bias here. W, absolute fucking W. All right, get the L's out of here, guys. Everyone typing L right now, guys. Maybe you just don't get Ava. Of course, Ava has got to be on this list, and Ava deserves to be on this list. I don't know where I'd put Ava or Shinji on this list, because how do you objectively judge, not even objectively, but how do you critically break down how good of a series Ava is? Ava to me has been always so personal about Hideaki Anno's story, and I genuinely cannot look at Ava critically, just because even if I try to judge the character writings, which it has, like, Ava does have great characters, especially the original Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's both iconic and interesting as well. It's the closest I think anime has gotten to just being a piece of art. Not even just seeing the original Neon Genesis Evangelion, not even just seeing the end of Ava. It's seeing the entire journey of not just Ava, but just seeing Hideaki Anno's emotional journey told through his characters and told through Evangelion as a vehicle. Ava deserves to be on this list. I don't know where I'd put it on this list. It's too important for me. But yeah, moving on. This is a W for me. Moving on to number 8. We have Sailor Moon. Okay, well, Sailor Moon is iconic. Sailor Moon definitely deserves to be on this list in terms of how iconic she is. I can't comment too much on her character because I didn't watch all of Sailor Moon. I only watched what was on television, and I was way too fucking young to judge writing and characters back then. I will say, out of the shoujos that I watched when I was a kid, yeah, Sailor Moon is more iconic, but I'm kind of a Cardcaptor Sakura kind of guy. That's what I got invested in as a kid. I fucking loved Cardcaptor Sakura. That was the magical girl show for me. I'm not gonna give a rating for Sailor Moon because I am not equipped to judge how high Sailor Moon should be on this list. But of course, Sailor Moon is going to be on this list. Moving on to number 7, we have... oh no. Oh no, Dragon Ball characters are gonna take up all the spots, aren't they? It's beginning, guys. It's beginning. I would be pretentious as fuck to say that a Dragon Ball Z character didn't deserve to be on this list. I would be pretentious as fuck. But it's gotta be Goku, right? It's gotta be Goku and Goku only. I do think that Vegeta is a better character than Goku. I think he's more interesting. I don't think that Vegeta is a bad character. In fact, I like the direction they took with Vegeta. But come on, guys. In terms of character writing, Dragon Ball compared to some of the other characters is here for its lineage. It deserves one spot on this list, and it's gonna be Goku. It's gonna be fucking Goku, all right? Moving on to number 6, we have... okay, Spike Spiegel. Now we are fucking talking. Now we are talking. W pick Spike Spiegel deserves to be on this list. My number 1 coolest anime character of all time. Goku is cooler. Get the fuck out, man. But yeah, I don't really have too much to say about this. Spike deserves to be on this list. He is also fucking iconic, especially in the Western anime scene. I don't think he deserves to be in the top 5. So I'm gonna give this a W. I definitely think he deserves to be on this list, and it might be in kind of the right place. Thanks to him, I also love a woman that can kick my ass. We are in the big boy numbers now. I hope Boruto is on this list. Oh my god. At number 5, we have... it's Goku! He's here! He's not number 1! He's not number 1! There are 4 people that can beat Goku! Of course he's gonna be on this list. Arguably the most iconic anime character of all time. If IGN had named this list the top 25 most iconic anime characters, I wouldn't be upset. But he should be lower. I know we have to keep the normal anime fans happy. This is all time, guys. This is all time. If it was the most iconic, he probably should be at number 1. I don't have a lot to say about Goku. What is there to say about Goku? He was an important part of my childhood. He was the one that taught us the good morals back when we were a kid. But there are more compelling anime characters now if you've watched more than Dragon Ball Z. I'm surprised he's number 5 actually. Goku is more of like the embodiment of the OG shonen protagonist, the OG hero who never gives up, who always trains and always defeats the bad guy. And I think he has his place because I think that he is the perfect protagonist for kids, you know. I genuinely tried to compliment him there, but that came out like a backhanded compliment. Moving on to number 4, we have... ain't no way! Ain't no what? Where the fuck did this come from? IGN, what the fuck? This is the biggest W of the list so far. Absolutely deserved. Yo, redemption arc? Fuck yeah. Johan is one of the most compelling characters in the entire medium. There is no villain that is as terrifying and as complex as Johan is. And he remains that way all the way up to the end. I still think about the last chapter or the last episode of Monster where he kind of drops a bombshell that completely recontextualizes his character. Not completely recontextualizes, but even in the last episode, he manages to add an extra depth to his character that wasn't there before, all the way up to the end. One thing that's incredible about Johan in the Monster series is that I'm not sure how much Johan is actually on screen. Even when there are like 10 episodes where you don't see Johan at all, you can always feel his presence. Johan isn't in the top 20 iconic anime characters of all time. Monster isn't even a very iconic anime. It's just one that's highly acclaimed by a lot of people, but not many people have watched it. That's why I'm genuinely surprised that Johan is on this list. IGN, you get a fat W for putting Johan on this list. Moving on to number 3, we have... and it's back to shonen, baby. I thought you were onto something, IGN. I thought you were fucking onto something, but we've gone back to fucking shonen. I think we have settled the debate once and for all. Can Naruto beat Goku? Apparently, yes. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy that Boruto's dad is on this list. I mean, we already had Kakashi. I think Naruto is a more interesting character than Goku. Is he the most interesting character in Naruto? No, I don't think so. I have a lot of nostalgia towards Naruto, and it was interesting seeing his journey as a kid and now being a interesting dad. He's an interesting dad, guys. He's trying his best. He's trying his best, guys. Okay, here's the real question. Who's a better dad? Goku or Naruto? Let's have the best shonen dad list. Where's that list? But no, of course, Naruto should be lower, as is a lot of this list. There are a lot more interesting characters, but he gets a pass for being iconic, I guess. I do think Hunter x Hunter characters should be higher than Naruto characters, but Naruto is more popular, so what can I say, guys? Moving on to number 2, we have... Yay! Edward! Oh my god, guys. Oh my god. They put Edward Elric on here? With his metal arm, and I mean, what more can I say about Edward Elric? It's Edward. He's short, and he gets angry for being short, guys. That's my boy. That's my boy Ed. Of course, he deserves to be number 2 for being the Full Metal Alchemist. When he said, "I am the Full Metal Alchemist," I was just like, bro, this is all you need to cement yourself as the top anime character of all time. Yeah, I don't know. I'll let you decide, chat. There is only one spot left for the greatest anime character of all time, guys. And the greatest anime character of all time, according to IGN, is... Monkey D. Luffy, baby! Monkey D. Luffy is the greatest anime character of all time. I'll allow it. Guys, spot the One Piece fan. We have put a terrorist as number 1 on the list of best anime characters of all time. You know what? I think we answered the question. We can't get much higher. Out of all the shonen protagonists, I do think Luffy is the best mix of being an iconic anime character, because One Piece is goddamn fucking iconic. Of course I like Luffy as a character, guys. Okay, my One Piece fanness is coming out. Do I think he's the most interesting character? No. But I think there is more depth to Luffy than meets the eye. Is he as complex as someone like Gon? No. But I do think he's more complex than someone like Tanjiro, for example. I'm gonna go full fucking One Piece fan mode, guys. Out of everyone in this list, if I had to pick a shonen protagonist to put the highest, it would probably be Luffy. Do I think he's the best anime character of all time? No. But I'm in copium mode now, guys. I'm in copium mode. This list was... Let's talk about this list, guys. This was definitely an IGN list. Again, very shonen heavy. Some interesting picks. If IGN had named this top 25 most iconic anime characters of all time, I would have way less problems with it, because these are some of the most iconic anime characters of all time. Whether they're the best anime characters of all time, hell the fuck no. Hell the fuck no. There are some fucking amazing characters that are missing from this list. Even ones that I think are pretty iconic, maybe not as iconic as fucking Goku or Monkey D. Luffy, but I still think way more compelling and still really iconic. First one that comes to mind, Okabe Rintaro from Steins Gate.
I am a scientist. It's so cool. Son of a bitch.
Where the fuck was he? Mob from Mob Psycho. How are you gonna leave my boy Mob off this list? Askeladd, any fucking Vinland Saga character. You don't even need to pick Askeladd. Thorfinn's Journey right now, I would add some that maybe might not be as iconic, but I find just fucking amazing characters. Do you know what's funny though? We almost had every big shonen. There was some series that had 2 spots, but IGN were like, Bleach fans, go fuck yourselves. But that was the IGN list for the top 25 best anime characters of all time. If you don't know, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Gigark. But anyway, that's been it from me for today. I've been Gigark, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.